Have you noticed that as a business owner or leader in your organization, others can drag you down when you're ready to make a change? My name is Richard Kielbaum. I want to delve into this subject today and identify some strategy in dealing with moving an organization forward with innovation. You know, as a leader, you're no stranger to facing a nonstop barrage of questions that shape the future of your company. But there are always bigger issues in the back of your mind that you want to pursue. But others can drag you down. How can you escape the drag of daily concerns? I want to discuss a 4-point strategy for owner founders to address resistance, drive innovation with their companies, leveraging current neuroscience, social science, and leadership strategies. The first of these strategies is to activate the reward system in our brain. You do this by creating buy-in. The brain's reward center, particularly the nucleus accumbens, plays a significant role in motivating people to embrace new ideas. Resistance comes from a perception of risk or loss. So by managing this, you can frame initiatives as opportunities for growth and success. You can activate these neural pathways to build enthusiasm, for instance, by breaking down the innovation into small, low-risk experiments that demonstrate immediate, tangible benefits. That takes out some of the feeling of uncertainty. Secondly, and I would like to say, use storytelling to link proposed changes with successful outcomes. Emphasize how these changes align with the company's existing values and purposes. You know, storytelling, humans are just not that great at responding to logic. We all like to do it. We all like to make our presentations based on spreadsheets, logic, objectives, benefits. It's surprising that humans don't respond all that well to those things. What people love is a good story. It kind of gets behind the defense systems and illustrates the points just as well, if not better. Use great stories. Secondly, build trust through psychological safety. People resist change when they feel threatened or excluded. Mitigate this by fostering a psychologically safe environment where team members feel their concerns are valued and heard. You can do this by actively listening to objections without judgment and addressing concerns with transparency. Now, what I've learned in my decades of using a project called Breakthrough Thinking and Mind Mapping, I like to discuss where we're going, what our purposes are, what the future holds. But people very often like to begin with complaints and frustrations. What I've learned is by receiving those frustrations and complaints, asking questions about them, seeking first to understand them, I can almost always turn those complaints 180 degrees around by discovering what purpose or thing they want to accomplish that obstacle is creating for them. So we can always turn complaints 180 degrees around and find out where they'd like to go in their life. Now, the third thing is this is a new one, leverage this habenula to reframe loss. The habenula is a part of the brain we've been kind of learning about recently. It's the part of the brain that likes to avoid loss. Every time you're in a game or you're in a situation where you perceive that you have lost, the habenula is triggered and demotivates you. It doesn't want you to do that again. It's a brain region involved in avoiding failure, and it becomes active when people perceive ideas as losers. To counteract this, reframe innovation as a continuation of past successes. Highlight how the new idea builds on existing strengths rather than replacing them. In other words, you have to frame your new idea as a series of small wins, small wins, small wins. The habenula will not be triggered. It will not demotivate people. It will allow people to move forward with new ideas. In other words, provide a regular, visible wins to keep the team motivated. Last is educate on cognitive biases. You know, people resist innovation due to cognitive bias, such as the status quo bias, which is preferring for familiar solutions, or loss aversion, a fear of potential losses outweigh gains. You can combat these biases with deliberate strategies. Use the endowment effect by involving resistant team members in co-creating the innovation, making them feel ownership over the change. Yeah, don't present the idea raw. Get in a situation where you kind of help them help you to create the idea. Next is frame innovation in terms of what the company will lose if it doesn't adapt. rather than just focusing on potential gains. Again, the brain hates loss, and if you can illustrate that if we don't move forward, there's going to be loss, it helps move people into a more forward-thinking position. These approaches blend neuroscience, leadership psychology to overcome resistance, but also build a culture that embraces innovation. By leveraging intrinsic motivators that we've discussed and creating a safe space for experimentation, leaders and owner-founders can inspire even the most cautious individuals to support bold new ideas. My name is Richard Kilbon. You can find me here on LinkedIn. I'd love to start a discussion with you.